When I first started gardening, I thought compost was the holy grail of soil health. And don't get me wrong, it still is in many ways. But the day I discovered the difference between compost and leaf mold, everything changed. My garden became more resilient, my plants grew deeper green, and the soil texture turned into the kind of rich, crumbly magic I used to only see in gardening books. If you've been composting but still feel like your soil could be better, this is for you. Let's start with what compost is. Compost is the result of breaking down organic matter like kitchen scraps, green clippings, and brown materials into a nutrient-rich amendment. It's full of nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, and micronutrients. It's the multivitamin your garden needs. But compost is also busy. It's full of active bacteria, fungi, and unfinished breakdown processes. That's why freshly finished compost still cooks a bit when added to the soil. It's alive, dynamic, and absolutely amazing, but it doesn't always solve every soil problem. Now enter leaf mold. I used to think it was just messy piles of leaves turning to mush in the corner of someone's yard. But no, leaf mold is something very different, and its benefits are wildly underrated. Leaf mold is made entirely from fallen leaves that are broken down slowly, mostly by fungi instead of bacteria. So, the end result? Well, it's this dark, sponge-like material that really looks like soil, smells just like a forest floor, and honestly, it retains water like you wouldn't believe. Here's the key difference. Compost feeds your plants, but leaf mold feeds your soil. Compost adds nutrients, sure, but leaf mold transforms your soil structure. It improves aeration, water retention, and creates a fantastic microbial habitat in ways that compost just can't always match. It's a bit like giving your soil lungs to breathe and, a sponge to hold water. Once I understood this, I started layering both compost and leaf mold in different parts of my garden. I'd apply compost to my vegetable beds to really boost fertility. Then I'd tuck leaf mold into my perennial borders, under the fruit trees, and around my herbs. And within just a few weeks, the difference was honestly visible. My thyme and oregano were so much fuller, my lettuces had a deeper color, and even my struggling lavender perked up. And the real test? My midsummer garden didn't dry out nearly as fast. That's because leaf mold can hold up to 500% of its weight in water. In hot, dry conditions, that's honestly a game changer. I noticed I was watering less often, and when I dug into the soil, moisture was still trapped beneath the surface. That's the fungal magic of leaf mold at work. Another benefit I noticed: earthworms. They love leaf mold. I found more worms in areas where I used it compared to just compost alone. And, as any seasoned gardener will tell you, where there are worms, there's healthy soil. They help aerate, break down organic matter, and improve nutrient cycling. It became clear to me that compost and leaf mold aren't competitors. They're teammates. So how do you make leaf mold? It's incredibly simple. Gather fallen leaves in autumn, ideally shredded with a mower or rake for faster breakdown. Pile them into a corner or a bin, keep them slightly moist, and forget about them. You don't need to turn it or add anything else. Let nature do the work. In 6 to 12 months, you'll have a soft, black, crumbly material that smells earthy and sweet. That's your leaf mold. No green waste needed, no kitchen scraps, just patience. Some gardeners even call it black gold for structure. It's especially valuable in raised beds or compacted soils where, drainage and water retention are just so crucial. I've also found that it's perfect for seed starting mixes when combined with compost and a bit of perlite. It holds moisture beautifully without being heavy. So if you've been relying on compost alone, I highly encourage you to try leaf mold too. Use them together and your soil will thank you. Compost is the food, but leaf mold is the foundation, the structure, the sponge, the breath of your garden bed. Before I made this switch, my soil dried out quickly, crusted over, and was slow to absorb rainwater. Now, the difference is night and day. My mulch breaks down into something more nourishing. My plants thrive with less input, and honestly, I spend less time watering, fertilizing, and troubleshooting. I used to think there was just one kind of good garden amendment, but learning the difference between compost and leaf mold gave me new eyes for the soil beneath my feet. It reminded me that soil isn't just a medium, it's alive, it's layered, and it deserves more than a one-size-fits-all solution. So if you've got a pile of leaves and a little patience, start your leaf mold bin this season. Your garden will reward you with better structure, deeper roots, and honestly, a more resilient ecosystem.